Greetings to everyone. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Glad to see everyone back over here after the orientation session in the past week. Greetings to everyone. I'm glad you are here. I'm Simriti from Chennai,
And I'm Nandini from New Delhi.
and we will be the host for today's speaker session. Now, before the speaker joins us, I would want to clarify regarding the topic with everybody, okay? So that we can have a basic knowledge of how it's going to happen, and you can also gain a knowledge and you will be able to understand how things are going to work. So, of course, I would want to start with a question. Many people are also aware of the fact that on device AI. Okay, so our session, the agenda for today is on device AI intelligence, which is using small language models, right? What is small language model? That is the important thing that many of them might not understand. Before we get into that, you might have pretty amazing examples around you which you might not know at all. For example, the Samsung Galaxy, I'm not aware of the model, I think it is S25. It has on device AI. I previously went to an Android session past December and I heard about this. He was an Android developer and he was talking about all this. And his main agenda was on device AI. I learned pretty much a lot of things from that particular session and it was insightful. So what you will have to know is these days it is not like you need internet connectivity to access AI. You can do it just on your phone. Samsung Galaxy S25, and also if you see Siri on iPhones. I don't have an iPhone, or else I would have showed you. We have Siri, which by voice recognition, it'll just catches, and when we try to talk something to it, it will recognize your voice. And we have smart cameras these days. These are all on-device AIs, right? These are all certain examples which you might not notice. Now you might think like, oh my God, are these the examples? Are these what we are going to talk about? Yes, exactly. That is it. Okay. So what happens when you are using, okay, let me stick to an example. Okay, you are using ChatGPT. What happens when there is no network connectivity? What happens? It will say that there is no, you cannot connect to the server. Exactly. What is the process? You need to understand the internal process. What is it? You send data to the server. Because of network connectivity, it is able to process the request. It can develop the model, and then you will be able to get the result from it. What is the concern regarding this? You need to understand that we have certain privacy issues. What is it? For example, if you move to corporate offices, many of the employees in certain small offices, what happens is they're not allowed to use AI, the developers or the designers. Means they're not allowed to put in, even if you're developing something, you should not copy paste your API key onto it. Exactly, right? It is something which has to be of high priority. You should not do that. You need to make sure that your data remains private. And there was this Ghibli image trend last year, and many people were uploading their photos online and they were creating their Ghibli images. Even though it has other cons, let us just leave that apart. The thing is, you are putting something onto the internet which is personal to you. There are privacy concerns, and there is also the speed. It is not that good. If there is no internet connectivity, you will not be able to access this. So what happens is, people who are underprivileged, they are not able to use it. But even if on device AI is there, if they are not able to afford the device, that is there. But still, if you move to locations where the network connectivity is less, you will be able to use this. Okay. And small language model, let's come to this particular point. Large language model, you have this cloud based interconnected system, and you will send the data to the server, and then it will process and receive the signal. Sorry, it will receive the signal and process it, and you will receive the data. Whatever output you have asked for, you will be able to see it. Now, in the small language model, what happens is everything happens on your device. What is the main thing over here? There is no larger server over here. Everything happens on your device. So the privacy concerns are lesser. Get my point again? I just told that the privacy concerns are lesser. It is not completely to the zero. It is lesser, and there is and it is also quicker comparatively to the large models, right? And this is what it is about. That is our main agenda. You will also know that we are using this many a times today, and if you do not have the latest model of Samsung Galaxy S25, and if you do have it, you will be able to understand the power of this and how it is changing how we are looking at AI models. Yes, so that is my point over here.
Yes, actually, I guess I have to buy Samsung now.
It is not like that. It is just that you will need to know the core concepts of how things are. And now I'm pretty sure that even if you weren't aware of what it is going to be about, you would have gotten a basic idea, right? That is what our dear speaker over here would be joining us for. He will be giving you an in-depth understanding of how things will work out over here. So let's just be prepared until he joins.
Yes, we have already given you the overview of our today's topic, right? I guess all of you understand. Just drop a thumbs up if you do. Already there are so many thumbs up.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, there are so many thumbs up already.
It shows that they are having the efficiency. I mean, they were more interactive last session too.
Yes, and please try to interact with the chat as much as you can. Even if you have a question, we will just pick up your question in the end, as we did in the earlier session also. Yep, thumbs up are coming up. I'm happy to see. By the way, I also have an example of SLM. I just got to know that SLM is being used in each and every single mobile also. Even if you do the voice typing thing, most of you just are lazy and you just type it with your voice typing. That is where SLM is being used. So yeah, you have been using it since you bought your first mobile maybe, but you were not aware. But with the help of today's session, you will be aware about it. Don't worry.
We also
And
want to know how many people are beginning of how you are going to start off with this, or you are already a developer, or if you are already building chatbots, or if you are an ML engineer. We would want to know that too, so that we can just gain a basic idea of the diversity of audience we have over here.
yes, AI and ML is a great thing to discover. Mm. Show your response chat over the question she just said. The speaker will be joining soon.
They're asking questions.
Beginner. Yes, I'm a beginner. Okay. Student. Many of you are beginners, so our speaker will be covering things related to beginner as well, so don't worry about it. Beginner, totally beginner. There are so many beginners. Beginner looking forward to create some chatbots. That's really awesome. I was actually discovering some chatbot things today and got to know so many things about generative AI and many other things also. LM, I was so scared of LM, but now I know
Okay.
that what LM is and how it is being used.
Okay. So another thing I would like to say, these days it has also become easier. Have I guess many people over here would be using Discord server, right? And it has also been becoming a day-to-day life activity of people in college clubs too, technical clubs. So what happens is the students, they themselves develop a Discord bot, and it itself, for example, if you are going to practice competitive programming, you can just upload your answers to it, and it will keep the track of the submissions. See how effective chatbots are for such day-to-day activities. Or else what is supposed to happen, that particular student who's the technical lead, he's supposed to check each and every person's response, whether they have submitted or not. But this way it is able to keep track of the submissions and all. This is how chatbots can be used and utilized for day-to-day activities. You just have to think it out. You can also make one on your WhatsApp too. For example, I previously came across a video where a student, he was a G-Shock aspirant, okay, but still he made a chatbot that basically sent messages to WhatsApp groups, which were repetitive. Something like if you have messaged some accounts on Instagram, you will get those automatic DMs, replies, right? Similar to that, he made some WhatsApp chatbot. You can just try to explore more things like it. It is just that even if you do not know, you just have to explore stuff and make sure you will be able to implement it. You explore the knowledge. You should not use and depend on AI for everything, so that you get the basic understanding of whatever is happening. Many of them tell that AI and ML, it's going to replace everything, and people will be out of jobs and all. But it is not that way. You just have to learn to work along with this, right? You just have to make sure you have the ability, you have the skills to work along with it. And even if that makes the mistakes, you should be able to identify that mistake, right? I also previously mentioned about the privacy concerns regarding large models and all. What is it? You upload your pictures, you upload your personal data. That is fine. These are the privacy concerns. Okay. Now,
Yes,
hmm,
and as the chat says, our speaker will be joining in a few minutes.
is
And yes, just wait for a moment, guys. By the way, there is someone asking, have I missed something? He joined late, or maybe she.
okay. So, whoever has joined late, we were talking about how this agenda works, and we were giving everybody a basic idea of what this topic is about. Yeah, so that is it. If Nandini, would you like to just explain to people regarding what it is?
What SLM is? Yes, sure.
Yes.
SLM is basically, I guess you have heard of AI and chatbots, but there is so much risk of your security and privacy. Smriti, well, she just gave intro of Ghibli image also. I guess it's Ghibli, whatever it is. Let's just pronounce it right. So yeah, that is what concerning part is. We just upload our images, and the generative AI or maybe the AI chatbots, they use our data or they use our images to generate data for themselves and train them. But for SLMs, they are inbuilt AIs that have everything in your local device. That is not being leaked anywhere, or there is no privacy concerns as well.
Okay, so good evening, sir.
Hey, let me turn on my camera. Camera visible.
Yes,
Yes,
you're
good
audible
evening,
and
sir.
you're visible. Good evening.
Good evening. Is my audio proper?
Yes, yes, you're
Yes, sir.
completely audible. Okay, so everybody was excited over here. They were enthusiastic. They were just waiting for you. Glad to meet
I'm
you.
so excited to see like something secret.
I'm Simriti, sir, from Chennai.
Oh,
And I'm Nandini
great.
from New Delhi.
Wow.
Yes. Okay. I was just giving everybody a strong foundation of how the topic is going to be, and I was explaining to them. Yes.
Yes. Just setting up.
We do have a strong foundation over here for now. And
Okay.
regarding everything I discussed, let's dive deeper into the topic. And we have Dishant Gandhi. He is a professional and he has been working with chatbots and ML models for years. He is highly professional and he has been technical speaker of many events around. We are very glad to have him over here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Let me know when to share my screen, and I'll go ahead and share.
Yeah, okay.
Sure.
If you're ready, you can share your screen now. It's completely fine.
Just a sec.
Okay.
Setting up right.
So Dishant Gandhi, he has actually been an IEEE contributed to. He has worked for communities. He has also worked for open source communities. He is highly experienced over here. If you have any questions to ask him, you can please drop it in the chat box. And if you want to personally connect, it is up to yes, sir. Okay.
Uh,
So yes, if you're
okay.
ready, we'll be able to start.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ready. So, I'll let me know and share the screen. Able to see it?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
sir.
visible. It's visible.
Awesome. All right. So, we are live, right? Right now. Okay.
Yes, sir, we have been live.
Okay. Any questions comes in, please do let me know.
Yeah,
And
sure, sure, sure.
attendees, if you have any questions, you can ask in the chat, and they'll share it with me, and I'll be sharing you all the answers related to it. Okay. Now, coming to the topic, what SLMs? We we are currently in a era where LLMs are being used a lot, but nobody right now knows about SLMs. People are
Sorry
thinking,
to
yeah,
sir, sorry to interrupt, but your voice is breaking up.
okay. We
Yes.
try to change it. Is it now breaking up or is it proper?
Yes, it's
Better, it's
perfect.
better.
Awesome. So, coming to this topic about SLMs, we all have been knowing about LLMs, which are Gemini, OpenAI, GPT. Then there's also Llama, which you have seen, right? Also, there are DeepSeek and Twin models. Now, when it comes to SLMs, we are in confusion like which particular model we should say SLM. So we'll know in this particular talk where what exactly SLMs are and what all things we can build. I know you all are majorly students and few of them are working professionals. There are cases where we think like where where exactly should I use LLM? Where should I use small language models? Is it really worth it to use small language models? We will talk about all this in the current talk, and we'll see how exactly we can achieve this all. So, coming to me, who exactly I am? I work. I've been working in AIML field for last 6 years and building conversational AI, designing them. And lately, I've been working on generative AI, LLM, RAG, agent tech frameworks, and so forth. Now, uh, how can you reach out to me? They already have shared you all the links related to LinkedIn, or you can just visit dishantg.com and it will pop up my website, and there you can find all the details. Now, coming to Open Source Connect Global, what exactly it is, what you can do. Many of you already know what Open Source Connect Global is, but still I thought to give you all a bit of overview. You can participate from any country, any city, create projects, be a part of a particular project, contribute, and earn certificates. Now, for AI engineering students, how exactly it helps? You can build, you can get mentored, you can work with startup founders and collaborate with other floats from all over the countries. Now, uh, you can join in as a contributor or become a campus lead or community member, and yeah, do open source contribution, be part of it. That's how you'll build your personal brand, because right now we all need a personal branding, or else HR won't know whom to reach out for their openings, right? For their jobs. Now, coming to our agenda, we'll learn about importance of SLMs, how exactly they can help, what is the difference between on-device intelligence, and then we'll look into cloud LLMs, on-device LLMs, SLMs, what exactly SLMs are, example of few SLMs, use of SLMs, and then I'll demonstrate you a desktop application which is using SLMs on my local machine, and probably it can inspire you to build your own application. Okay. Now, coming to the importance part. The reason behind the importance is like right now we all are familiar with cloud APIs, Grok, Gemini. They all give free trials, and Gemini gives us enough free trial. We can utilize it in our projects. But when it comes to providing a good application for your resume, it becomes a bit of a challenge where if a particular interviewer asks you what did you do on premise, on your laptop, on your machine, it becomes a bit difficult to answer those questions. Like, I don't know, I haven't done that yet, I haven't self-hosted yet. uh, Even though you have moderate level of graphic card, you should be able to achieve something with 1B models or 2B models, right? But that's also not achieved far enough. So now the this talk focuses on all those areas where how exactly you can utilize your on-premise uh, capabilities or specifications to achieve better applications for your own uh, projects. Now, let's see what is on-device intelligence. Now, I'll tell you a few myths and reality part here. Like whenever we run anything on the cloud, it is not it is running remotely. Even now, there is a cloud gaming which has been getting famous, right, by Xbox. Similarly, cloud-based AI agents are also there. They are very quick, they are very fast, and they are able to answer multiple questions at 3-second interval or 1 second interval, right? Now, when it comes to the challenges, you will never face any kind of challenge of latency, of uh, streaming response, and all those things with cloud base. You'll be instantly able to solve those issues, right? But on device, you'll be able to see all those challenges. Now, how exactly that helps you with the reality? Now, when it comes to data privacy, let's say you're working for a fintech, fraud detection, then working with customer models for, let's say, mutual fund, uh, helping the clients for answering those questions. There comes data. So you need to take care of the data privacy, right? There comes the local model or self-hosted model. You cannot use a cloud-based model. Now, if you haven't achieved any sort of project which uses self-hosted model, then it may be challenging for you to check about latency, then offline capabilities and all those things. Once you have done it, once you have achieved those building development part, you'll be able to understand, okay, this is also possible with less amount of GPU. And the difference here is whenever you use on device, let's say laptop or any kind of hardware, you will be having offline capabilities. And let's say you are building some kind of desktop application which can collaborate with any kind of classes which are currently in market. Let's say uh, there are tutors who are running business about teaching school school students or college students for their first grade to 10th grade, let's say, and they have their own tablets, they are giving it to the students, and uh, they have some kind of application. But what if you propose them, think that you can add some kind of educator buddy or education buddy, something like that, for students which can help them for assignments, and this everything would be running on the tablet or on the laptop. Isn't it interesting? Now this can be possible on device instead of using cloud, because not every student has access to internet with the well speed internet nowadays. Even though we have geo fiber and everything, but they have limitations such as 2 GB per day and all those things. So if they start using LLM on their devices for the assignments and all those things provided by the tutor classes and all institutions, then it may be taking a lot of space, and they will be taking a lot of data, whatever data pack they have. So we have to make sure that you can use local LLM. This is where the whole idea of SLMs comes in. Now, cloud LLM versus on-device LLM. These are very lightweight when it comes to on-device LLM, and you can also work in offline. It gives you better functionalities, and I would say one-time setup is enough. Whereas on cloud LLMs, they would be costing. For free version, let's say developer version, they will give you free trials and all those things. But when it comes to org level, let's say you are working with somebody and you're selling your product to anyone, any particular companies, then you have to pay for it. Whereas when you're using local LLM, then you don't have to pay. You have to pay for the hosting part. Let's say we'll consider that to outside of this domain. The whole LLM model is running on the mobile phone itself. So you don't have to worry about it, right? 1B model can run simply on this 8 GB mobile device. So it's simply good enough for you to not worry about cloud deployments, and just the application development you have to worry about. Similarly, if they don't have access to internet, let's say when it comes to emergency services, they need some kind of help. They can simply go to their application, chat with that chatbot to get instant relief responses. If they don't have internet, they may be in some kind of jungle, or they may be going on a trek. They need some kind of medical assistance, and they don't know anywhere what to do. Meanwhile, the ambulance or local is arriving with the help. They can chat with the chatbot to at least give them a bit of medical assistance. These are the ideas that I'm giving you for your projects you can utilize. Now, what are SLMs? We all have heard about LLMs, but what are these SLMs? I'll show you just now. Let's go to Ollama.com. Here we will click on models part, tab, and here we have a lot of models. Now, how should I understand which one is SLM? It becomes a bit difficult. Now, how to identify a particular SLM model? You should be able to see there is a filter in here. You can click on newest or anything, or another way around is to probably find a particular model. Let's say typing by 3B. See, whichever model is having 3B, it shows up in the list. Now, Let's say you want to look for 1B model. See, whichever models are under 3 billion or 2 billion, they are considered as small language models. It's a bit of uh, like it's a bit funny. Like they say 1 billion or 3 billion is also small billion, small language models. But yeah, that's how it is. Like they are small, and there are multiple research papers currently on how to utilize this 1B model or 3B models on Android applications or Android devices also, where you can run these models on the Android app. Now, coming to this, which model you should utilize for specific task. This also is a is also a question which comes around very often. If you would like to write it down, I would really recommend it. So there are different set of models. There is Llama, Mistral, Quen, DeepSeek, and Gemma, which are in open source now, right now. Very good ones. Which ones can be used for what? DeepSeek and Quen are very good with thinking. They have thinking capabilities. Here, if I zoom in, there are tags which are given here to this particular model. Now, what are these tags? Tools means whenever you are using LangChain or Kuru AI or Pydantic AI, there is a tool calling mechanism where you can call specific tools, let's say weather search tool, sign up tool, or anything sort of like this. If a particular model does not have ability to for tool calling, then they are not useful. So that's why there are tools as a tag. Whereas there are also models which can do thinking. This particular model can do thinking, which is GPT OSS. This is not capable to be running on my machine nor on any kind of devices which I am talking about. This is not a small language model. It is 20B model, which is quite large. Now, thinking helps it to understand what a particular user query is. Whenever we go on to GPT, Chat GPT, there are different models, right? There's 5.2, there's 5.2 thinking, there's a research model, and all those things, right? It helps with different set of instructions. They're trained with those set of instructions. Now, if I remove this and I select thinking, it will give me all the models which are in thinking zone. Now, here, Qwen 3 vision language model. We can see it has everything what we need. Let's say you are building an application, you want vision capabilities too, where a particular user gives an image. Let's say a student gives an image of a math problem, saying that I want to solve this, I want a solution out of this, I'm not able to solve it after this many tries. You can utilize this model. You can also utilize this for tool calling. You can also utilize this for thinking. Thinking only works when it comes for highly complex situations or highly complex queries. That time you can use thinking. Apart from that, you can also you use a simple language model. You can ignore the thinking part. It is usually by default area of thinking, and this is also a small language model, a 2 billion, so you can utilize it. So this are few small language model. You can even do one more search, that is small language models list. It will give you a list of small language models. See, it is quite easy to find it. Even on Hugging Face, you'll be able to find this model, and it's very simple. I'll show you a few. See here. Quen 3 is not currently added in here just because it is a very old blog. That's why. And there's Pi, small M2, DeepSeek. then Gemma 4b, though Gemma 4b is very large for a particular Android device or iOS device, but it can run on a simple laptop or MacBook. Okay, so you can utilize this. Now, let's go back to our slide. Small language models are built on top of large language model. How exactly they are built? You may have heard about quantization. If you haven't, you should be learning about those. And it's very good topic to understand how exactly quantized models are. Because let's say uh, right now you all are learning from me something or other, right? So this becomes a student-teacher learning part, where student is learning from whatever teacher is speaking. Now, I am currently masters of AI, but you are still learning those things, right? So you are getting quantized by doing this student-teacher learning method. So this is how quantization usually works, where you make the smaller model learn from a bigger model itself, and that's how the small language models are built. And why they are built? Because they can be optimized for speed, low memory, and there are also certain areas where it could be very great with, such as summarization, searching on web. Let's say if a particular browser, you're trying to build a particular browser for Android applications where whatever user types in, it can search the web and give you the result in a summary. That's also one of the projects you can do for Android applications or iOS applications. Now there are also chatbots. Few companies don't have enough money to pay this LLM, cloud LLMs, right? They reach out to this small company which can give them services of chatbots, which are for just internal purpose. There it can be very good. Simple Q&A, just like your notification bots you receive whenever your Geo or your recharge is going to expire, you get a notification. Hey, this your recharge is going to expire in 15 days. Then after 15 days, you'll get every day a call on your mobile phone saying that recharge, 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 all those things. So this can be utilized for this also, and it's been utilized since long. So even before LLM came into market, there were models, language models. They were not large language models, but they were language models which were getting utilized back then, where such as BERT, Digital BERT. Then there was GPT-1, 2, which were being used back then. It was completely open source. You can still find it if you should like. And there's Robota. If you go on Hugging Face, you'll be finding multiple language models for different use cases. So that's how they're still running. Now, there are few strengths and weaknesses when it comes to small language models. And the strength and weaknesses we all should be aware of. The reason behind it is like whenever it comes to small language model, we find it problematic in knowledge base. As I mentioned earlier, the bigger the model, the more data it has. Such as like right now, student teacher, right? It it does not have enough data to understand if you are giving a longer query. Let's say they are giving a very big query with some kind of code and they're asking it to answer those questions. It will have hallucination very, very much. And when it comes to accuracy, it's, I would say like it's around 50-60% accurate enough when you give longer queries and complex tasks. When it comes to strength, we all know very low cost. You can solve privacy issues. You can also you have low resource optimization. Then speed, yes, you'll get speed in this because it's using very less memory and it's very efficient. So strengths are very good, but when it comes to the weakness, we have to work on that. And how exactly we can work, I'll show you in the code. Like what kind of alternatives you can use to achieve these weaknesses, solve this. Now, use of SLMs. I'm giving you a few project ideas overall, like what exactly you can do before I start giving you a demonstration of how SLMs are, what they can do, and also tell you how exactly RAG works overall. Uh, can you all answer me on chat, like how exactly RAG works? And where do you find SLMs integrated with RAG? By looking at this slide, we can see note summarizer, study assistant, resume bot, and so far and so forth. But what are your ideas you can share here in the chat, which which can help out? And I'll be giving you few more suggestions onto those. I'll be waiting for your chats.
Well, there are a few questions.
Okay.
Actually, how does SLM improve privacy, also security, compared base AI and cloud?
Okay. How can
How SLMs improve privacy over the other AIs that are
okay,
based on cloud?
okay. So privacy part comes in whenever there is a offline or self-hosted model, there would be privacy. But when it comes to cloud, the data which you are sending to the cloud AI, such as GPT, let's say you're sending your resume, which has the details about your phone number, your Aadhaar card, your whole bar data, and all those things. It will be used somewhere, right? Right now, we all have been using Nano Banana for optimizing our faces, doing Ghibli art, and all those things. So our data is going somewhere. But when it comes to self-hosted LLMs or SLMs, you won't face any kind of privacy issue because everything is on premise, and you will be having your own guardrails which will be set to avoid any kind of prompt hacking or prompt injections. But when you are using other third party LLM model, you don't have that control over prompt injections. If any kind of prompt injection came in with your data, you don't have a hold of it to shut it down and then uh, take a hold of it overall. So that's how SLM gives you privacy. The the overall idea of this particular talk is to give you exposure on how you can utilize SLMs for small devices outside of all this cloud or hardware. Like let's say you do currently everybody uses LLMs on cloud. They self-host it on the cloud machines. But how about you can directly run it on the devices where you want the user to have it. So let's say I am the user. You have built a particular application. The model stays right here in my mobile phone. It's not going anywhere. And the data is with that model itself, which is running on my mobile. So the data is not even with the organization of which the application I'm using. That's also a good thing, right? So that's why small language model gives you more privacy overall. Other question?
Yes, there are actually. What are the minimum resources we require to build a SLM from scratch at a personal level?
Okay. What kind of resources, right?
Yes.
So the resources, if you are planning to build your own SLMs out of scratch, then first thing you will need is a model, a small language model, because I won't recommend you to create a wheel out of scratch. Like we are not reinventing the wheel section, right? So let's say you have a particular Quen model. I'll take an example of Quen model, 1B model, right? You'll utilize that model, fine tune it according to your needs. Because if you try to create everything from scratch, you don't have enough data to train it on. If you have enough data of that domain where you want to use, then do a digital model. That's what I would recommend. If you want to create everything from scratch, make sure you have enough data to build a model on scratch. Okay. Data to train it on. Next question. Was I able to answer? Please let me know. If you have follow-up questions, then yeah, you can add it on the chat.
Yes, so the next question would be, what was biggest challenge scaling small language and across diverse device while keep them open source or as well?
Yeah, I'm also checking the chats. Could you please repeat the question?
What was biggest challenge scaling small language and across diverse device while keep them open source?
Okay, so the biggest challenge in scaling small language model is, first of all, you're not scaling a particular model, right? You are running it on a particular machine, a device, and diverse device. I'm not sure. Like you'll need to have a specific device with where it can run. First of all, let's say you have to specify 0.7b model can run only on 6 GB RAM machine or mobile phones. Whereas when it comes to 8 GB RAM phone, probably you can use 1B model or 1.7B models, but not further than that. When it comes to 12 GB model, 12 GB RAM, then you can run 2B models, but not more than that because it will lag the phone. It won't run any other services which are currently running. So you need to make sure all those things, right? And that's how you can diversify. Looking at the device where the app has been installed, you can change the model which is getting downloaded. Okay, that's what you can do for now. Any other questions?
So there are a lot of questions actually. I'll pick one
Should
of
I
them.
read it out? I am able to see the screen. I just opened it. So if you are comfortable with,
Still, if you're
Okay,
comfortable
sure.
answering them right now, then you can go ahead, or else
yeah.
you can
No, we
continue.
have no, we have time, Smriti. So that's why I'm
Okay,
answering
then
the
it's fine.
question. Yeah,
Okay, then it's good.
yeah. Can SLM plus RAG system be updated dynamically without retraining the model? Of course. The reason behind RAG, I'll be explaining it, is to avoid fine tuning. Whenever you are going to be using anything which is in the current market, right, which is very latest, you are not going to be fine tuning on each and every data you are getting every day. You have to make sure that the model utilizes RAG functionality and answers those questions. So that's how the whole SLM plus RAG architecture fits in here. Now, I'll answer the other questions later a bit. I'll move to how you can utilize AI for your own good use. One is traditional learning, which we all do, um, where we try to copy paste our code from AI, whatever it gives us out of it, and give it a static syllabus, do assignments by submitting all the questions and copying it onto the PDF and submitting it to the teacher without any set of understanding. That's one of the bad use which we are doing. But when it comes to the good uses of AI, we can probably ask AI to help explain the problems, practice those, and learn fast. This also comes in picture when it's about SLMs. So you can make sure that whenever you are utilizing SLMs for your own projects, you can build something, but the creativity is of yours. Whenever you are building a chat, you can answer this question. I have one question right here. Give me a difference between development and coding. Smriti, if you want, you can add a poll in the chat. Difference between coding and development. Can AI develop or can AI code?
Yes, sir, sure. Actually, yes. We'll just let the team know that we have to make a poll.
Sure, sure. No issues. Yeah. Even without the poll, the attendees can answer the question right in the chat. It's fine. I'll be waiting for them. Meanwhile, how SLMs are created. Okay. Then what's the other question I have? What are the most compelling real-world applications of small language model on device today? Is it for me? Is this question for me? RAG is one LLM uses external data. How LLMs? How to get data? Okay, only code. So the reason behind asking this question was when it comes to development, you have to think of all sets of problems, all sets of requirements, and then do any sort of development. You cannot rely on AI to do all those things for you without thinking because it does not have that creativity level. Whenever you give it, let's say you're asking it to build you a portfolio website, a simple one line prompt on ChatGPT. It doesn't have any idea what you know, what kind of education background you have, what experience you have, nor it has information about anything you have done so far. So we cannot rely on AI to do development, whereas it can do code. So make sure you utilize it for code and not for the development in itself, right? Now, coming to the part where we'll understand what is RAG. I'll tell you about prompt engineering. This is a bit of tricks which I'll be sharing with you, which you can utilize on ChatGPT and Gemini. But before that, I want to show you what is RAG. So I'll be showing one graph, linear graph. Okay, so let's consider this as a plot, scattered plot, and considering this as a scattered plot, I would I'd like to show you. Let's say you have a data. You have three sets of data. One is for current affairs. Another one is for your syllabus. Let's say AI syllabus. And the third one is about yourself. All data about yourself. All three would be having different set of themes, different set of contexts. So if I have to explain it, I'll choose a graph which has different set of colors. Just a second. I hope this works. All are able to see, right? Now, each and every category has different set of colors, right? Now, if I am currently explaining all this information, all this knowledge I'm sharing with you right now, it goes into your short-term memory. And then once you revise it, once you implement it, it stays in your long-term memory. Now, all this similarity we have with our LLM models. RAG comes into picture, it is majorly short-term memory. All the things which we are doing with RAG goes under short-term memory, and the fine tuning which we do stays in the long-term memory. That's how the whole difference is from fine tuning and RAG. Now, how exactly RAG is able to identify the questions which you have asked? The question whenever we ask, let's say I ask about what is the current policy, what was the current budget in India, right? It tries to web search and gathers the data, converts it into a vector store, which is a numerical representation of data from text, and then finds a similarity. Let's say the similarity would be here in the green section where the data has been stored for the current affairs, the news. It will go here, try to find it, and then come back with few chunks of data. Each and every dot you see, it's a chunk of data. Let's consider that. And it will fetch this chunks, and then it will pass it to the prompt, to the LLM, and give back the answer. Similarly, if you're asking about yourself, like where were you working in 2021, it will go to the blue section. It will find the information of what was happening in 2021. Is there any kind of data related to that? It will find a similarity between your question, which gets converted into vector. It will find it here and then answer back. This is how the cosine similarity or semantic search works overall. This is how the whole RAG works for cosine similarity. If you are looking more deeper into RAG for re-ranking, then you'll have to go with a different set of models. There are encoder models. There are models which will convert the text into vector in a different way for different set of functionality. Let's say you're going for Euclidean search, you're going for cosine similarity, semantic search, hybrid search. All these have different set of encodings, which you have to make sure you use whenever you're doing RAG. Now, something about prompting. SLMs, we have to be very careful about prompting because it has very less data to get prompt. Now, how does this prompting work overall? Whenever you're building an education app, which I'll be showing you, there needs a persona for that LLM model, which will be sending a prompt to. Now, if you set that persona very specifically, then it will be on the answers would be crisp and to the point, like how you want it. So there is a structure for a particular prompt. Now I'll go to this Alexi draw. Let's say this is the whole prompt of yours. Okay, here. In this, there would be different sections, such as I'll create the subsections right here. I'll Now each and every section has its own, I would say, ability. The first is persona. I'll increase its font size just a sec. Um, silence, city, yes, five, yeah, better. Now, the first one is about persona. The second would be context, or we can consider it as instructions. The third one, whereas can be context or RAG chunks. And the last and the fourth one would be question. Now, this is the basic overview of how your prompt should look like whenever it comes to SLM, LLM, or any set of model, any set of generative model, right? In the persona, you will be specifying details related to how the model should work. What is their sole purpose in this world? Then there comes instruction. Instructions will also have set of guardrails. The guardrails, why? The reason behind it is you may have one model for all the works, and there could be a problem. Let's say it sometimes there are cases whenever you're building something for mental health cases or even a simple model, if a user tries to question in a rude way or arrogant manner, it will reply with the same response. That may create a problem because when a particular person is angry, they should not get angry. That's how the psychology works. If the LLM model starts getting angry at a person or replies with informal way or very rude way, the user will not be using your application anymore. You lose the attention of the user. So you need to make sure that you set a guardrail where it make sure that chatbot or AI model is not responding in very rude manner. Then it should not be targeting any particular set of information it has. It should always utilize all the data it has and then it respond back. There should be formatting of a data. Let's say sometimes when you're doing multilingual models, multilingual chatbot or agents, there are cases where there would be problems with the accuracy. You may be having a model, one for answers in Arabic, English, Hindi, Marathi. If a user mix language and asks a question, you need to answer those kind of questions too in a correct format. Let's say you choose English or not Arabic or something like that. But if the user is asking a question in Hindi and the chatbot answers in English, you also have to handle those cases. Or sometimes the user is completely out of box. They have gone mad. They are asking to order pizza to a finance bot, which is absurd and doesn't make sense. You need to add a fallback mechanism in the guardrail itself, like what kind of response it should give back. Because if the chatbot says yes, I'll take an order for you, then they will call the customer care and say, hey, your chatbot is mad. It's answering weird questions. So that's how you have to make sure the instructions are. Coming to the context part, the context can be related to the PDF which you have. Uh, Probably you have the user has given you some kind of text, documents, or anything which you can add in the context, or you have been doing RAG. You can also include RAG chunks in the context itself. Now the last one is the question. The question can be anything of the user. So this is the overall structure of the prompt, and this is how you can utilize it. Few tricks to understand what AI can be used for which particular purpose. Gemini is very good at giving you good answers. Uh, let's say it may be about summarization, email, writing your short paragraph, blogs, articles, all those things. It's very vocabulary. It has good English when it comes to Gemini. When it comes to GPT, it is really good with giving or generating prompts. So if you want to generate a nano banana prompt, you can go to ChatGPT. Then you can utilize its own prompting method and then it will give out a prompt saying that okay, this is how you can do it. I'll just show you this thing. Just a minute. So let's go to ChatGPT. Now here I can ask it, give me a prompt to generate a painting similar to Bob Ross from my reference image. See, it's so quick to give this answer. Right? I can use this prompt very simple way. Now, check this out. The structure of this prompt. It first gave instructions like how the scenery should be, how it looks like. Then there are few more instructions related to what kind of brushstrokes it should use. Then the scene should feel comfortable, nostalgic, and all that. Now it gives few more details so that this is more of a guardrail. Style, lightning, emotion, and medium. This all are more of like guardrails and avoid any kind of fallback. So that LLM model does not feel I'd say hallucination or anything like that. It should not be thinking by itself in this particular manner. Now, it gives us few more add-ons which we can utilize, like high detail texture and paint style, or for softer look, we can add this. For photorealism, we can whatever we want to avoid for photorealistic, then we can add this. Now, it will also ask you which tool I am using so that it can tune it into that particular way, because each and every LLM model has different set of prompting instruction uh, pattern which you can utilize. So see the usefulness of ChatGPT. This is just with the Go subscription which we are getting in India for free. Think about if you are going to be using a paid subscription, how good it would be. So this is how you can use these tricks. But yeah, make sure when you are doing any kind of LinkedIn post for this talk or for the next talk, don't try to be heavily dependent on AI, because from what I have seen nowadays, if you rely completely on AI posts, LinkedIn is not giving that enough reach. So if you want good likes, then you have to add a human language. To do that, go to Quillbot. This can help you for humanization, and paste your AI answer and it will give you humanized version of it. So these are few tricks which you can utilize. Now coming back to the demo for how exactly the application looks like. I'll share my screen. Meanwhile, post any questions you have and I'll answer them.
Obsessive sex with insane. And I'm so ready for my first time. Harsh, hi. I welcome वापस जा रहे हो? That year me and my cover got a level था.
Okay,
वैसे
so
तुम्हारी सारी कपड़ा कैसी होती है ना?
sir, actually, are you comfortable with questions right now?
Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
hearing some kind of noise from your
थोड़ी
background.
shy लगती हूँ.
Okay.
मुझे
Oh,
सब
wait,
पता है. First
just
right
a
time.
second, I'll fix that.
मैंने बहुत
I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. So we wanted to ask about what industries are currently adapting SLM in the next 5 years.
Okay, expected to benefit from most widespread adoption of next 5 years.
Yes, yes,
That's what.
exactly.
Okay. So, in next 5 years, it's very longer period. We should not be
Hmm.
going into that far. Right now, if we focus on the first 2 years, right, we can we can find probably areas such as cloud,
Okay.
security, AI sec getting most benefited because currently LLMs which we are utilizing every day
Hmm.
still we haven't figured out all sorts of hacking uh,
Exactly.
mechanism
Hmm.
or how much and how can we prevent those hacking in here. So we need to make sure those all things are set for. If you are going into cybersec, AI sec, you can definitely get benefited out of it. And if you have AI knowledge on top of that, then it's quite a plus because right now companies are looking into that. So yeah, those things
Okay.
can be benefited. When it comes to management, yes, management will never go away because we are humans. We need to manage.
Okay. And also, it's also this sort of problem that most of them are not aware of this particular thing emerging, right? And how is open source helping SLM to accelerate? That is what exactly we wanted to know. And most of the students, and since you have laid the proper foundation of how things are set, and you also gave us the example of how it is to be done. You also showed us the Ollama platform, so we got the clear idea of how things are. So how is it currently for SLM in the open source world?
SLM is very widely used, like you can utilize it, but it's still on a research phase, right?
Okay.
Right
Hmm.
now, it's not very well versed enough in here. The reason behind it is like whenever we
Hmm.
as a user are trying to utilize it, correct, in our own way, it
Yes.
becomes a bit difficult for to test it on different set of devices right now. Let's say
Yes.
if I'm using this mobile and if another person is using 6 GB model
Hmm.
or somebody is using 4 GB model, I need to check it on that device itself because when it comes to the emulators which we are utilizing whenever
Hmm.
we are doing any kind of Android development, we use Android emulators which run on our machine. We cannot do a similar testing just like my mobile would do. So I need a vast variety of devices to make sure it runs perfectly. So those all things needs to be present whenever we are using on-device SLM. But when it comes to the self-hosted SLMs, it's never a problem. Like it's
Okay.
hosted on a cloud, so I don't have to worry about how it will run or what kind of problems I'll be facing. But yeah, for on-device, we need to check on this.
Okay. So for now, you can continue with your current presentation, and we do
No,
have
that is
certain
okay.
questions in the chat.
Yeah, right.
So someone is asking, how can hands-on device SLMs leverage retrieval augmented generation RAG with limited storage and compute?
For RAG, you don't have to worry about storage. Similar to how SQLite or WhatsApp is currently utilizing your storage, right? You can similarly utilize the user storage to save all the data
Hmm.
into the vector store on their device. Or another way is to store it on a, let's say, MongoDB, which is running on your server. That's where also you can store. But
Yeah.
it completely ignores the fact where we want to use this the whole application, right? So if you
Yes.
want to truly use it, then you'll have to do everything on device.
Exactly.
To utilize it, you have to do it similar how WhatsApp does or Instagram does. Save the data on the device itself. Because right now people are using 256 GB
Hmm.
of ROM, 128 GB of ROM. They have plenty of storage. Why you are worrying about it? And the data which we are getting from the RAG, it's nearly an MB. So
Hmm.
by far, we
Yes.
don't have to worry about
Okay.
this.
And if you would like to proceed with few more questions, then I can
Yeah.
continue. But if you want to start with yours, it's completely fine.
Yeah, it's currently loading, so I can take questions.
Okay, fine.
Application takes a
So,
while to
since we
run.
are going too much to this technical side, and everyone might be sort of overwhelmed with things, and they might be confused too, right? So, to move on to the lighter side, and also many of them over here who have joined us, they are students, right? So, we would like to know how you started off with this, how your journey was like, so that you can tell to students of how to start off with this, like ML and everything. And how was it for you when you started off with learning what this particular agenda is about?
Okay.
Hmm.
So if I explain my journey in overall AI, I started back in 2020. So there was no such thing as ChatGPT or Gemini and all these things. So we had to do everything by ourselves. To learn, we got connected with different set of contacts. We reach out on LinkedIn to whom we feel they are more knowledgeable than us. We connected with them, and I personally participate in hackathons and open source forums. Uh, it's not because right now I'm on Open Source Connect Global. This is how I started my journey overall. If you go on my LinkedIn, you'll be able to find multiple things. I even hosted workshop myself. I was teaching about NLP, about Docker in my college myself, and everything was done with the help of college teachers. We conducted those workshops. I also invited few few folks from outside of India virtually to answer queries, explain them what kind of world we are in, how exactly you can excel in this. So those all things I did back in 2020 when COVID hit. Before that, I did participate in few offline hackathons where I started liking it because it was giving me swags and it was giving me money. So that was main motivation factor for me. Now, coming further in the road of 2020, after all these hackathons, I directly got a referral from the community for an internship, saying that hey, you're doing good, we would like to hire you as an intern. And I started my journey with the internship. And similarly, whatever currently I have been, it's all because the community was helping me out and reaching out via LinkedIn. The more connects you have, the more you reach out to them for questions, for projects, the more clarity you will get, the much more things you'll be able to build overall. So I would recommend you to go ahead and participate in hackathon, participate in contribution with open source communities, and that's how you'll be able to go ahead with it. Like you'll get an idea like what is currently happening in the world. There are much more creative people. Even now when I was a mentor in a hackathon which was running in GDG last 2 week ago, I saw students overnight building some kind of applications and they were having so crazy idea which I may have not even thought of right now. So participate, create contacts. Sooner or later, you will be getting reach out by them saying that they want to offer you projects, and you can even start freelancing by that. So that's one thing to go with. All right, I'll share my screen. No longer wait, and then we can continue with more questions.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yep. All right, so you all are able to see some kind of dark screen, which is a bit of navy blue, and a question answer chatbot. This is a desktop application built simply on Fleet app. Fleet is a library in Python, just like Tkinter we have. Tkinter helps us to build desktop applications, but this library helps us to create a good UI. I know right now it's in dark mode, but yeah, you can build it more better. I will open up the repository. I'll share the link with our host, and they'll be sharing it on the chat and in the comment section also. They'll be adding it, so you can utilize, refer to this particular repository and see what exactly you can do. Here, I would like to share a few things. You can create new sessions directly here, and one thing is like it's similar to what ChatGPT does. The sidebar gives you access to different set of sessions. The one which you chat with, the old chats also you can get it. It stores each and everything on a local machine, so you don't have to worry about it. Everything is on a local machine. Nothing is on cloud. It's running LLM on my local. I have Quen 3 1.7b running on my local machine using Ollama for now. You can also utilize Hugging Face for downloading the model when you create a desktop application. Siddharth, you are spamming the chat. Don't spam the chat. Now, coming to the document folder, it does the RAG on ChromaDB for now. You can, let's say you want to utilize more functionality of RAG. You can probably use MongoDB for doing Euclidean search, semantic search, or re-ranking. And there is also another tool which is very good, Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is also in vector space. You can utilize it. And similarly, you can use ChromaDB. ChromaDB is very lightweight. You can probably use it on any kind of Android devices also, so that you can get the functionality of RAG. Now, if I say hi, I want to understand Pythagoras theorem. I hope I'm writing the spelling right. It's been quite a long time since I've written the spelling of Pythagoras. It will take a while to answer because right now my camera is running. My screen has been shared, so it will take a while to answer this. If PUBG can run on an Android device, then an LLM model can also be run. Shivansh, I didn't get your question. How does it offer wider coverage in case of day-to-day user regardless of application? What exactly you are focusing on? Like, what does offer? Like, is it SLM you are looking, LLM you are looking into, or overall desktop application? Uh, Ketan, your question is like if I'm creating anything and open sourcing it, then how will I be making money from that product? Okay. So if you want to make money from any set of product, there are two ways. One is SaaS, one is PaaS, which is product as service or software as a service or service as a service. These are the three ways you can earn money from. And there are also more which are currently coming up in market. But if you want to open source it and earn money, do you know about WinRAR? WinRAR is free, right? But when it comes to the organization, it becomes a bit difficult for an organization to use it for free. They will use a license. They will purchase a license and then they will utilize WinRAR. WinRAR, if you are not familiar with, I'll type it in the chat or I will type it here probably. WinRAR, if you can see it here. I hope my screen is it visible what I have written here? Host.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Okay, cool. So
It's,
now it's very small, right? It's not
yeah.
that visible. Yeah, I do understand. So WinRAR is the application, desktop application, which helps you to unzip, unrar any kind of folders or zip folders you have received. File. Yeah, I know, Aditya. I cannot see it. Fine. Now, similarly, if you are going to utilize it, right? If you want to sell that product to a particular company, you have to reach out to them by saying utilize it or provide a free trial. Open source it, provide a free trial, let the contributors do their work, provide you a set of suggestions. There is also Hacktoberfest, right? You can go there, ask them to give you license, like contribute anything. Similarly, there is also Blender, which is in 3D space. I'll share my whole screen, and that way you will be able to see what I'm typing. Present something else. Show up, and here we go. Hope my screen is visible. If you go to Blender, it's open source. This is free and open source 3D software where you can create 3D. And these guys are part of GSOC, Google Summer of Code. And if they are able to earn money, so can you. If you build a valuable product, they are into this space even more than when I started my career. So they are very old in this particular space. Now, coming to the application. Yeah, I would like you guys to contribute in this. First of all, here you can see there is no spacing, which is probably part of the desktop application, where it's removing all the spaces. Then there comes streaming response. We all have um, very less patience in this Instagram world. That's why I started answering the question for you instead of waiting for them, right? We distract out of different set of conversations at 30 seconds of interval. Now, here too we need some kind of mechanism where it starts replying back with all the streaming response. We need to utilize it. I'll open this whole code to you to contribute. Now let's walk through this code, like how exactly it's working overall. So I'll zoom in my screen a bit to what you Camilla. Yeah, here we can see there is environment, virtual environment, then app, name, RAG retriever, web search. Web search has a simple search query. RAG retriever goes for retrieval using the embedding model. This is a very simple basic model which we are using, embedding model. And retrieval is simple encoding and decoding. I'm using FAS right now. I'm not using any kind of ChromaDB, MongoDB or anything, any kind of vector store. Simple FAS. You can also utilize it for your POC or MVP products so that you can at least showcase like your application does RAG very well. Then there comes Qwen3 chat. Here I'm currently utilizing Ollama with this model, which is Qwen3 1.7b, which I already asked. There is no such thing as prompt as of now. I kept it very open so that I can showcase how exactly the Fleet app can work. The main area is to understand the desktop application and not the AI, because AI agents can be built anytime. There are multiple tutorials present, but there are very rich tutorials on desktop application. So try to learn those and how to create a very good desktop application here. So this is the whole app where I'm using Ticketer inside it, and there's Fleet. So Fleet also uses Ticketer, but it has its own functionality where you can generate the GUI very well. Similarly, how React.js is also using HTML, CSS, correct? But it has its own libraries, it has its own mechanism where you can utilize its own uh, libraries, packages to create your whole UI experience much more better. Similarly, what Fleet or PyQt, yeah, PyQt is another library which you can use for GUI. Here, I can see page title, page window. I'm giving all the sizes. Then there is column. Then I've also set a refresh session, like whenever user, let's say, clicks on new session, then also it should refresh the page and then show up the new session page. All those things are present here. Then there are few text fields like type your message, a send button. Then there is a column with all the chat box is there. All the chats are visible in there. Now, chat history, the sidebar. There's a sidebar present here in this particular section, which is having default all the sessions which I have so far have answered and questioned with. Now there's a RAG document. This is a divider, and this is a separate column in itself. This is a separate column. There are two columns, and in the first column there are two rows. I have similarly here in this particular section in the second column I have two rows. First is this whole chat box, and the second one is this chat box where chat I'm adding the chat input. I'm asking the question along with the send button. This is how the overall UI looks like. Whenever there is a pick folder, it will ask the user to open the directory and give it back that directory name. So this is the overall mechanism. And there is a streamer which is streaming all the responses, and it is also checking what kind of intent I have detected. The user may be asking for a web search, mental health issues, or assignments. We need to check all these things accordingly. So this is how the whole app works. It's very simple. This can you can generate it with AI. It's fine. So this is how overall desktop application can be built so far. Any questions? Any doubt? Feel free to ask me. I'll go back to my slides. Let's go. Ask any set of questions you have. I hope we are not over time.
No, sir, it's not overtime. It's
Okay.
completely up to your comfort.
I have 10 more minutes. We can
Okay.
answer this question if we have any. Smriti, would you like to pick any questions?
Yes, I'm picking it right now.
Okay, works.
Well, there was a question I was noticing from a long time. With the rapid evolution of hardware, do you see SLMs eventually replacing cloud based LLMs for daily productivity tasks, or will it always be a hybrid approach?
So we are still very early to answer this question. Like on the part where on phones right now we recently faced RAM shortage issue, right? Which currently we are so far we are not been facing here, but we faced it the right 1 month back or 2 months back, right? So now when it comes to replacing cloud-based LLMs, this won't happen at all. There are bigger organizations which are developing each and every LLM model in a way that you should be able to get answers very quickly. Not everybody has that ability to have patience, right? People pay for GPT models, right? They pay for Go subscription, even for the business subscription, they pay for it. Even for Gemini, Gemini is currently free for students, right? With AI Pro. Do we ever think of using local models? No. We first go with the models which are hosted on the cloud because it's very fast. It can do multiple things. Whereas if I host it on my local machine, it will take a bit of time, let's say 1 minute or 30 seconds. But when it comes to the models which are on cloud, it may take around 10 seconds or less than that to answer any kind of queries. So I don't think we will be ever replacing it, but yeah, there would be hybrid approach depending on the user use cases. Such as if somebody wants to utilize, they have some kind of privacy issues or something like that, they can use the local one. But if they want to generate any kind of email, have some kind of image generation and all those things, they can utilize the cloud ones. Yeah, it would be hybrid approach.
So, there is a question about AI footprint, as we have discussed about the approach so far.
So what kind of, okay, AI footprint? Cool. There are a lot of things we need to consider when it comes to AI footprint. Whatever we are asking AI about, we need to make sure that the data which we are giving it does not consist of our own. And when it comes to data, we are already giving them the images, right? We're already giving them the data related to uh, whenever we want to create some kind of different set of image, or if we want to edit an image, let's say I want to remove this side of hair and make a different kind of hairstyle, right? That's that's a different way to do it, and we are giving our photos to it. So we need to make sure that whenever we're taking any kind of screenshots or copying, pasting any kind of content from any website and giving it to LLM, which is running on a local machine, or let's say you're using any kind of automated tool such as Comet, which is a browser, or anti-gravity. These all tools are very good when it comes to searching. But if you are copy pasting any kind of query, it has prompt injection, it can create an issue, such as like somebody has set any kind of image and you're uploading that image as a reference. And inside that image, by using any kind of cryptography mechanism, there are few instructions which are set. It can harm your machine. You need to make sure that you have enough idea of what you are doing and what kind of data you are giving to AI so that it does not harm you back. Make a good use of AI, not the bad use. Such as like when it comes to harming people, don't use AI for those things and don't even think about that. Though there will be people who will be doing those things. There are also AI used for NSFW content. Then they're also used for deepfakes and all those things. So you have to make sure not to fall for that. Yeah.
Okay, as we are now aware of harmful effects of AI and also the useful effects of AI, let's just move on to the beginner project ideas for SLM if there are any.
Beginner project ideas could be a mental health chatbot. I would recommend that. Right now, there are a lot of places where students or even any set of user, any particular human being is not very comfortable on speaking up with other human being or their friends. They are very shy, they're introvert. You can create a set of application which can help them with companionship. They can add their memories in there, have their own set of AI which can bring them back to those old days when they are feeling good and all those things. They can help them to feel good majorly. Then another use case could be helping them with finances, such as like budget planning, checking all the expenses they have so far ran. And this AI assistant can help you sort out all the expenses and give you budgets. Then it will give you suggestions like how you can improve your expenses, how you can improve your savings, where exactly you can do savings, like all those things you can do in the fintech area. Then comes for teaching. We have AR and VR, right? You can utilize AI in there where there will be voiceover and probably in the Android application, we have Snapchat, AR, and there are also other AR applications which you can utilize. There are also meta lenses, right? You can integrate AI in those properly for teaching purposes, where students can interact with those AR objects, and they can learn more about those objects, such as like in geography, we are not capable of going into the space and interacting with the planets, right? We need some kind of mechanism where, let's say, uh, student can pick Earth, open it up, and check all the cores inside it, like how much depth it has, what the core is, and all those things. It will be more of AI generated, all those things, and AI can add the suggestions like what exactly you can do. These all things you can work on.
I guess we are all wrapped
Yep.
up with the questions.
And it was
Yeah.
actually pretty insightful for the beginners. You had touched upon the points which had to be remembered. And also, I'm pretty sure this is for the viewers. We had initially discussed about how this can be done. We did not have any idea about how SLMs are working actually. And we had also discussed about how these modern time phones are implementing these kind of technologies in them. For example, we talked about Samsung Galaxy S25 and how Siri is having its voice agents. These are all examples of on-device AIs. And through this answers session, we also learned many things about this in depth. We also saw about the model graphs. He showed us some graphs and how we can make proper use of AI other than just prompting it blindly. We have to use it for putting the code in, and we should not use it for development. That is what he also discussed about.
Yeah.
And we also need to make sure that many of us are using LinkedIn and all, so we need to humanize the post, and also this will improve the reach for you all, right? This is what he exactly touched upon. You would now have a clear idea of how to get started with on device AI, and I'm pretty sure about it. Thank you so much, sir, for giving us a very insightful session on this. um, yes, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible. You
Okay.
were always. Yeah.
So
No worries.
if you would like to move on with any other questions, it's completely fine. And
No,
I
no.
know that you would be running out of time too.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
hmm.
Right then. I'll take a leave and
Okay.
hope you guys liked it, and make sure to scan the QR code if you have, and connect me on LinkedIn if you have any kind of question. All right. Bye bye, guys.
Also, you talked about the particular link.
Uh, for GitHub repository, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Yeah. I'll be sharing that link in some time with you guys directly with
Okay,
the
okay,
host.
sure. Take
Then
your
you can
time.
post it here. Yeah. I don't have it in handy, so yeah, that's why.
Okay, it would be of great help. You can share it whenever you are available to share.
Sure, sure.
Okay,
I'll have
thank
it.
you.
Bye.
Bye, bye, bye.
Good evening, sir.
Hmm.
Well, if you have any question regarding SLM, and also if you have any question regarding the session also, you can just scan the QR that's Dishant sir shared in the end. You will be able to connect with him on LinkedIn also. So yeah, you can ask your queries also there. Just drop a thumbs up and the review of your session if you are staying till the end. I hope you like the session. Yes, love the session. Yes, there are so many people joining in, and also I would like to also share that SLM needs to be worked on. And yeah, there I just got to know that there is so much on SLM. I was just thinking that let's do it. But now I am pretty sure about that. There are so many people out of you who would like to contribute to SLM projects and actually learn it. Yes, there are so many thumbs up. There is a poll also in the chat box. If you could answer that. How was your session? Any feedback form? Any feedback form? You can write your feedback in the comment section as well. Make sure to scan those QRs. I actually connected with Dishant already. I want you to connect with him and leave a feedback on his profile also. That actually appreciates his work and also that motivates the speaker as well. Thank you for sharing. Yes, and also we will be sharing the repository link as well after this live ends in the campus leads group, or we will share it via some notification as well. Yes. Okay, sure. We will share it in the group. And do share the session also on LinkedIn as well. If you have taken any screenshots, yes, I want you to share it on LinkedIn and mention the answer also. Yes, and OSCG as well. Yes, if you have any question regarding the session or maybe something else, you can just drop it down because we will be ending the live soon.
Yes, we have to wrap up right now.
Yes, if you
Okay.
have questions.
So as we wrap up, we already saw how large systems can now be converted to everything on our devices. And Dishant sir also shared that your data is more private on your devices, right? You won't be, whatever you share, it won't be available to anyone else outside. That is exactly the point. And if you enjoyed this session, please follow us on LinkedIn, stay updated so that you can further on learn more apart from this particular session too. You will be getting updates over there. Follow us on Instagram and stay updated through your mails also if your campus leads and state leads.
Well, thanks
Thank
for
you
the
once
time,
again.
guys. Yes.